We receive dozens of threats each day. We always take them seriously. In this case, we took action immediately.
We were notified of it. It was circulated to all the appropriate commands. To anticipate your next question, no. As far as I can determine at this point, it was not posted on bulletin boards.
Almost at the same time as I was talking to these two secret agents here in London, a warning had come from Helsinki that talked of the bombing of a Frankfurt-bound plane, and that other warnings were even more specific and talked of Pan Am 103. And what amused me was that all of us had, in our own way, given pieces of a very crucial puzzle to intelligence, which they'd chosen to ignore, or so it seemed. But subsequently it became apparent to me from further inquiries that they hadn't ignored them, and that a number of VIPs were pulled off that plane, a number of intelligence operatives were pulled off that plane.
The South Africans, particularly Pic Botha, were booked on Flight 103 and changed pretty much at the last hour or so. These South Africans had been warned by Bureau of State Security to change reservations.
The South Africans booked on Flight 103 cancelled just before departure. Along with Pic Botha, General Mallon, the Defense Minister, and General Van Tonder, head of the Secret Service, boss, and other senior government officials. Botha, Mallon, and Van Tonder confirmed this change in travel arrangements to British businessman Tiny Rowlands. They tell him the source of the information was of the kind that could not be dismissed. Botha rebooks on the earlier Pan Am 101. General Van Tonder and two other members of BOSS cancelled their trip altogether.
BOSS has close ties to two very important services, to the Israeli service and also to the American, to the Central Intelligence Agency.
Sometimes by going public, you give undue attention to what the terrorist wants to call attention to. But if you want me to say that if we have specific information that a specific flight was going to be specifically targeted and that information had any credibility to it, then I think widespread notices should be given and people should well know that they were putting their lives at risk.
If you count them out, there had been at least 8 warnings to the Western intelligence authorities, whether they were British, American or German. What did they need? A signed confession on a postcard?
I remember that Flora had been told that she'd be unlikely to get a seat on that flight because it was so near Christmas the plane would be full. Now the plane was nothing like full. And Flora bought a ticket just a couple of days before she flew. Now, if that came about because the others who would have filled the plane had been warned, what does that say about the system? It says that the warning was widely known, that a lot of people had heard it, a lot of people acted on it. And it's only the mugs who weren't on the inside of this system that's supposed to protect innocent people who actually climbed on board that plane.
She got on that plane really as a lamb to the slaughter, that she walked up into that aircraft believing, as anyone should, might, that she was going to be safely transported to America.